Hello guys, and welcome back to my continuing review of the miniseries Chernobyl. Just watched episode 4, The Happiness of Mankind, and my god, I have to tell you, it's probably the most disturbing one and the hardest one to watch so far. But let me hear you guys, your comments below. Tell me what you think if you watched it tonight, and what are your thoughts on it. Was it hard for you to watch? I will definitely tell you why it was hard for me, and just how powerful this mini-series really is. I want to hear your thoughts, and also consider clicking on the subscribe button and tapping on that bell to hear any notifications from me for your future enjoyment. This is a show that has definitely kept me on edge, very riveting, and not only because it's just a factual story, it's just that just when you think that it couldn't get any worse, it pushes the envelope, and it doesn't hesitate to really take you to that next step and really making it hard for you to watch, but it's almost necessary to watch so we understand what happened. And this episode here, it still goes into the whole investigation of Chernobyl and talks about what they were hiding, primarily with the scientist, Emma Watson's character. She goes and interviews the workers, she finds out information about it, she brings the papers and all the information to the two other main characters, Jared Harris and Skarsgård. That's towards the end of the episode. And it's funny, with that one particular scene, they have the three characters are all talking to each other, and Jared Harris's character, he's the one that has to pretty much say something and tell the truth, and Watson's character, she's saying tell the truth and nothing but the truth, whereas Skarsgård's character is saying, you know, tell a little bit of lies and it will be okay. So it's kind of like they're the conscience and he's listening to these two sides, like the devil and the angel. So it was kind of interesting how that played out. Particularly in this episode though, there are two sequences that really stayed with me, and the very first scene of this whole episode really does set the mood for the remaining hour. The scene with the old lady, she's in the farm milking the cow. The soldier comes to her and says, we have to leave, you have to evacuate, and she does not budge. She doesn't want to go, and she gives this like little spiel to the soldier saying how she's lived there for over 80 years. She was there at the beginning of the Russian Revolution all the way to the Great War. She's seen people in her family die, so she's saying, how can something I cannot see, how can I be afraid of that? And then the soldier shoots the cow, and it definitely set the mood for where the episode was going. The two main sequences that go on in this episode, that's what was the hardest to watch. One dealt with soldiers that were recruiting a young teenage boy, which was Barry Keoghan, if you remember him in Dunkirk, and I realized that was him as I was watching. I'm like, he looks so familiar. But he plays the young boy that's recruited to help with the damage control in this town that was evacuated, and they're just pretty much trying to evacuate people, cleaning up anything that might affect people that are outside the city limits, particularly with the animals, and that's mainly one of the things you see in this episode, where they are shooting these stray animals in order to keep them from escaping the town and infecting other people with this radiation. They don't show them actually shooting the dogs, but the portrayal of it is that's what they're doing. And you know, I have a dog, and it was hard to watch that. And there's one particular scene where they both go into, the boy goes into a room and he sees either the mom or the dog, and he has 3 pups there, and you know what's going to happen. The older soldier sends the boy away, and then he's downstairs and you hear the gunshots, and it's just so hard to watch that they actually had to do this in order to prevent any further contamination. And this is the first time we see Barry Keoghan's character, but his performance was very convincing because he was just so hesitant in shooting these animals. He's never shot a person, and then these older soldiers are telling him, you know, they shot men before. You know, it's almost like they're numb to it. So, you know, as I said, it was just hard to watch those sequences. And while that was all happening in the evacuated city, you have the sequence with the men that are recruited to go on the roof of the factory to get rid of all the debris. And I remember Jared Harris's character explaining that if the men are up there for a specific amount of time, the longer they're up there, the shorter their life expectancy will be. And the men go in one at a time, or a few at a time. And remember, the main man that was going out there, he tells them this will be the most important 90 seconds of your life. And that's scary when you're told that. And you know, there's only so many things you can think about what can happen in those 90 seconds while you're out there. And the one scene, they have those men going out there, you don't hear anything but the sound of the radioactive readings going faster and faster and faster. And I just remember thinking, my God, this is so hard to watch. These men are doing this, and that sound is like clicking, 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 and it's like it makes it harder for them to concentrate. And you're with that one particular guy, and he's like moving the stuff so slowly because he's nervous, and he's lifting this heavy one. The other guy helps him out. All of a sudden you hear that bell ringing because that's what signaled them to all come in, and he trips and he goes back in, and then you see he has a little tear in his shoe. I'm like, you'd think something like this would be so hard to watch. You can only imagine how hard it was for these guys to be in this situation, but definitely tension filled in that sequence alone. Once again, great performances from everyone. I think Emily Watson is probably my favorite so far in this show. She's the one that I think that stands out to be the strongest character, that wants to present the truth no matter what the cost, because you can tell at this time the Soviet Union was going to do anything they could in order to not be humiliated. And I don't think her character didn't really care, even though she's not really based on a real person. She's symbolizing these scientists, and the fact that she was going to go as far as lie and to tell the truth in order to go against her country, that says a lot about her character. And I just can't wait to see what happens in the final episode. I really like this miniseries, and I just hope they do more shows like this that deal with real life tragedies or events in history that we don't know a whole lot about, especially ones that you have to go into such deep investigation to find the truth, because it's very interesting. But tell me what you guys think of tonight's episode, and if you're looking forward to the last one. I hope you enjoyed my review. Don't forget to give it a like if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to hear more movie reviews and TV reviews from me. You all have a great night. This is Ride the Movie Guy saying I'll see you at the movies.